Hello. What's the last thing you remember about this place?
I remember getting lost when I was 6 years old.
Yeah?
Yeah. And the guy at the admissions booth, which I think is like over here somewhere.
Yeah.
He got really mad at me.
He got really mad at you?
Yeah, and he was like, I can't help you. And we were 6. We were little. Me and Stacy, and we were like, help, where's our mummies?
Yeah. This was the reason why the place shut down in the first place, because of a fire.
This was the biggest fire in Dartmouth history.
This was what? The biggest fire in Dartmouth?
Fire in Dartmouth history. And
Really?
there's a pair of goggles on the floor. Maybe have a fireman's goggles.
I almost feel like I've come back after a nuclear disaster and I'm walking around the world just kind of looking at like what was.
Day after?
Yeah, kind of like a day after type thing. What's your name?
Alright, my name is Bill Mello.
Okay.
And right now we're standing on one of the most terrifying roller coasters in the history of roller coasters.
Yeah, I know. There's plenty of stories with this thing. The cart going off the track, I remember that one. Somebody fell off too, I think, at one point in time too.
Right. So
Yeah.
there you go. This was a deadly track. It's haunted because of all the deaths that have occurred on here. And now we walk on these decrepit track supports. Just for the sake of photography, trying to recapture what was lost from our youth when we came here and had such joy. How's that?
That's good. Thanks, man. These are the reasons why they tell you not to walk around in old ruins. Because as you can very easily see, I stepped on a nail and it like penetrated into my foot. Very odd feeling to feel a nail just stab right into your foot, but I don't know how deep it actually is, though. I know I can see a little bit of blood coming out there, but... This used to be the parking lot where everyone came in. That is the once incredible fun place that we used to have fun at as kids, and now it's just a wasteland, so that's that.
It's sad looking at this, though.
Yeah?
Even, I was talking to the girl that was with Billy.
Uh-huh.
And she made a comment along the lines of, it's sad to think that part of your childhood's gone.
Yeah, it is.
And it's true.
Like destroyed, gone.
I mean, even though I didn't come here like all the time.
Yeah, I used to come here all the time when I was a kid.
It's sad that you don't have stuff like this anymore.
No, it is.
For like the other young kids.
Mm-hmm. Do you believe in God?
No.
Yes, I do. I don't believe in God like the Christian church tells you to believe in God. I believe that there's some sort of spiritual thing that maybe looks after us, but I don't really think it's like this big man that's going to come down and save everybody.
You don't believe in God?
No.
Can you expand on that a little bit? Like what? Like
why I don't believe in
why?
God?
Yeah. Why don't you believe in God? What are your feelings
when
about
you
it?
have religion, when you've had religion thrust upon you from age 5, and you begin to sit and watch and learn about the religion, you see how bad it contradicts itself, and just don't believe anymore.
There are people who do. I don't feel that what I do right now, I'm gonna suffer in the afterlife or whatever for. I just think there is a greater power that, you know, that caused creation or whatever. I mean, makes the sun come up every day. I know there's a lot of scientific explanation, but I'm not a scientist, and I'm not a theologian either, so I can't put it into, you know, scientific words or religious words like a priest would. I believe that there is something more than what we see here right on Earth and what we see on other planets. There has to be more than just that.
What's your attitude towards the Catholic Church? Christianity. What do you think of Christianity?
I think it's a bunch of lies. And I only say that because I was in 8th grade religion class. Actually, I went to a Catholic school from kindergarten to 8th grade. And 8th grade religion class, all along they were telling us everything in the Bible is true and you should believe everything in the Bible. But my 8th grade religion teacher said Adam and Eve was not real. And they also said, you know, Cain and Abel wasn't real. Anything to do with Adam and Eve and Cain and Abel, you know, that whole, I think it's the Old Testament, I'm not really sure. They told us it wasn't real. So it just totally went up against everything I learned from kindergarten through 7th grade. You know, go by the Bible, do everything by the Bible. Oh, there's one little part that you don't go by because they kind of lied in that section.
My mother has to go to church every week, and she feels guilty. She feels bad if she doesn't go to church. She feels like she's committing a sin, I guess. And I don't understand why. I mean, you don't need to go to a specific building and pay them money, you know, with all their collections. They're really just capitalists, I think. You can sit down, I mean, right here, if I wanted to, I could pray right now, and it would have the same, you know, outcome as if I went to a church.
What are your opinions about the Catholic Church, priests, church, religion? Exactly. This is exactly what I want, so if you're going to get on a tangent.
I think the Catholic Church is the biggest racket that's ever existed. They're only out for money. I mean, the Church in Fairhaven, St. Joseph's, you have to pay 25 cents to sit down, plus they pass around a collection plate. They're only in it for money. I can't stand the Catholic religion. It makes me sick.
You have to spend 25 cents to sit down?
You have to pay 25 cents to sit down. There's a little cup with a coin slot in it, and some guy standing there. Put a quarter in so you can sit down in our church and pray. It makes me sick.
I mean, my parents aren't religious at all. My mom goes to church like Christmas Eve and sometimes Thanksgiving, and that's about it. Easter. But my dad doesn't go at all. He goes Christmas Eve, and that's it. And I think that's being such a hypocrite. You can't just say you're a Christian on Christmas Eve.
The church is just another building with a cross on it. And some holy water inside. But the priest does that. The priest is just a man who's been, you know, empowered by the Pope, who's just a man. You know, no great being came down there and said, here, I make you priest. You have power over all this. They have to come to you to pray. No. If you believe, pray wherever you are. You do not have to go and give them money. I just don't like the fact. I think Catholic priests are capitalists and they're just in it for them. And they drive around with these expensive cars, go on vacations. I mean, I thought they were supposed to take a vow of poverty.
How do you feel they're hypocrites? Well, how do you feel they're hypocritical? Explain it.
You just read the Bible. Read the Old Testament and then read the New Testament. It contradicts each other so bad it's ridiculous. In the Old Testament they say an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. In the New Testament, turn the other cheek. Doesn't make any sense to me.
I think it started out when I was in 8th grade, might have been the end of my 8th grade or whatever. I went to Salem, Massachusetts with my mother and my sister, and we visited the Witch Museum and some other places, the House of House of Seven Gables, excuse me. And at the Witch Museum, I bought 2 necklaces. Same thing, one for me and one for my best friend, and it was the Sabbath circle that the witches used to stand around, and on the circle it had like all different names for the devil on it and different symbols. It was just a necklace. I thought it was really cool, and I was always interested in, you know, the idea of witches. So I gave one to my best friend and I kept one. And not that long after, I lost mine, and I didn't know where I lost it. And for the longest time, I couldn't figure it out. Well, the next year we were taking confirmation classes back at our old school. We had gone to Catholic school, and we were taking confirmation classes at that school. And this lady came in to speak to us one night about Satanism and witchcraft and all different stuff. And she told a story about them finding a satanic object in the schoolyard. It was a little necklace with names of the devil on it. And right away, I raised my hand and I said, "That's mine. I want it back." Well, the lady was really shocked. She didn't, you know, she's like, "Well, we don't have it on us." And I don't think she knew how to, you know, talk to me after that. But I was like, you know, that was just a souvenir from the Witch Museum in Salem. And, I mean, I didn't feel bad about telling her it was mine. But the next day, my mother worked at that school, and I told her about that. She was very mad at me for, you know, making it look like I was a devil worshiper in front of my confirmation class, and made it worse because I asked her to get it back from me, and she wouldn't do that.
I think the devil takes many forms. I don't think it's just one person. Actually, I shouldn't say that. Scratch that. I believe in evil, but I don't necessarily believe in the devil.
Okay, so you believe basically evil emanates basically from people in general. It's not that it's from this Christian idea of the devil. It's just
Right.
our own inherent
I just
nature.
think it's just people being evil. I don't think it's like this other power that comes down and says, "Okay, you're gonna do this bad thing today, or you're gonna do that bad thing today." I think it's just brought on by either society or just by the people themselves.
Okay, so you don't believe in God. Do you believe in Satan as a god, or Satanism, or what? What has to do with
I
it?
don't believe in Satan as a god. I don't believe Satan exists. I don't believe any of that stuff exists, God or Satan.
Okay.
But I do consider myself a Satanist.
Okay. Expand on that. What are your religious views? How do you?
My religious views. My religious views is that you're the master of your own destiny. No, if there was a creator, it's impersonal to you. You're the master of your own destiny.
I think it's just as stupid to be a Satanist. I mean, I mean, if they believe what Christianity says about Satan, about him being so evil, why would somebody want to sell their soul or worship somebody who's not gonna do anything for them, but just, I mean, they'll burn in hell or whatever when they die. That's what they say.
Where I was driving along, I think was it 88?
Yeah, it was Route 88.
And it was late at night, so I don't know if I was tired or what, or not was seeing stuff or whatever. But I was driving along and I saw motorcycle lights in back of me, and I thought he was like following me or something. So I kept on looking back, and all of a sudden I didn't see the lights. So I kept on driving, and I didn't really think anything of it, and I saw a motorcycle stopped on the side of the road with what I thought was like a guy laying bloody on the ground and somebody else sitting on the motorcycle, kind of like pointing at the person.
Hector started out as a spirit, or whatever you want to call it, that my friend Carla was contacting on a regular basis. She was talking to him by herself. And everybody knows you're not supposed to talk to a Ouija board by yourself anyway. But she decided to bring it over to my house one day, and we started to talk to Hector. And Hector was saying how he was going to kill us, and how I was going to die in 3 days, and all this other stuff. And, you know, I don't know if the bad stuff started to happen because of Hector, or if it was because we were scared, but bad stuff happened after that.
My cousin and I were running a haunted house, and the building was haunted. We'd be alone in there, doors locked, only one way of getting in, and we'd hear footsteps. We'd hear chairs moving. I saw one of the curtains we had hanging. There was no breeze in there. There was nobody downstairs in the basement with me, but it moved like two hands were pushing it out.
I didn't know if it was real, so I looked at the paper the next day, and I was hoping that I would see something, you know, that said someone hurt on Route 88, but nothing in the paper, and it would have been in the paper, so.
Like what bad stuff happened?
Well, I fell down the stairs and ended up doing something to my elbow. It wasn't broken or anything, but it was like really sore, really bad for a few days, and just misery for like 3 days after that.
Okay.
Just awful stuff, and I never played with a Ouija board again after that because it just makes me way too nervous. And I couldn't sleep in my room ever again after that either. my old bedroom. I could never sleep in it again because I feel like I was rising out of my bed every night when I tried to fall asleep.
I don't know. Maybe, you know, when they die, they don't want to let go of their life. They don't want to leave the earth yet. They don't want to become that pile of bones. And they try to hold on, and somehow they get stuck between, you know, this life and death. And they're still there because they're still holding on. I don't know, that's the only thing I can think of.
Do you believe that if a person is killed unnaturally, as in a car accident or whatnot, that that person will be basically doomed to walk the earth for eternity?
I don't know. Probably more so than if they were dying of an illness and they're prepared to die and they're ready to accept it. But if they die suddenly and they're not ready, maybe that could be a reason why they weren't ready to die, they're not ready to give up yet.
Do you believe that, I don't know, do you believe that you're going to go to hell if you kill somebody under an animal instinct?
It depends on what the situation is. If you're defending yourself, I don't think you're gonna go to hell.
Then what makes it any different than death in general? Because really, death is just death. I mean, no matter how you cover it. If you kill somebody...
Yeah, but death is death, and killing is killing. You're actually doing it. Death really just... Like, if it's a natural death?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean? Like, if it's like a heart attack or something?
No,
Are you comparing, like, heart attacks to...
No, I mean cold-blooded killing. I mean serial killers. I mean, do you believe that serial killers are going to go to hell for killing? If you believe in a hell. Basically, you said before you really don't believe there is a hell.
No, I didn't believe that there was a devil.
Okay. Okay.
I believe that there will be some sort of separation between the good and the evil, like when you go on, but nobody really knows that, because obviously you can't really come back and tell people about, oh, I went to heaven.
There had to be something that created all of this, but I think it knows that the human race exists, but I don't think it knows that Katie Rysz and Jason Byrne and Susan Rook exist, you know, as individuals. I think it's just something that's impersonal that just keeps things running, if it even exists at all. You know?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think there's anything that, you know, people say, oh, well, God made this happen. No, you made this happen. You know, nobody controls anything but you.
Okay, so you understand that your beliefs, if heard by any member of the Catholic Church or the Christian religion that you grew up with, basically would excommunicate you from the church.
Yeah, and I don't care.
Oh well, that's my story.
I'm here right now interviewing, introduce yourself.
Katie.
Stop it, be serious. Be serious, come on. I'm here right now interviewing Katie Rysz. What do you do?
I'm a photographer.
Okay. What got you into photography? What started you wanting to be a photographer?
I basically wanted to be a photographer since I was really young. Well, I shouldn't say a photographer since I was really young. Any sort of artist. I always thought artists were really cool. My dad is basically an artist. He draws, he takes pictures, but mostly I was influenced to photography through my father because he was very interested in it, and he still is interested in it.
Okay. Would you say your father's style of photography influenced you much, or is it more you came up with your own style?
He's a small part of it.
Mm-hmm.
I like to go out and take the pictures like in nature, which is what he likes to do. He likes to take the nature photography, but he takes it almost from a typical landscape portrait. I mean, photograph.
Mm-hmm.
Where I try to focus in on one aspect of the image, getting real close.
Okay. Do you have any educational background in photography? Or
Yeah, well, besides reading a lot of books, I read a lot of books, a lot of magazines about it, so I educate myself a lot. But in high school, I was in the photo club for 2 years, and I was the president for 1 year. And I actually was the vice president for the other year, but it didn't really amount to anything. In college, well, I was in college for 4 years. I still am there at UMass Dartmouth, and that's what I study there. I'm forlorn.
you're what?
I'm forlorn.
You're forlorn. I can what?
I said you can ask me to put my nail polish.
I can ask you about your nail polish?
Okay.
What's going on with your nail polish right now?
It has to deal with my abstract photography.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Where you can't make out a concrete image on my fingernails, but it is there. Like, see? Look. Real close. It's there.
Okay.
And they all mean different things.
Do you find this interview at all pressuring?
Pressure? No, not really.
No, not really. Do you have anything to say to the camera?
No.
How old are you?
I'm 22.
What's your name?
Katie Ann Rysz.
What do you like to do?
I like to take pictures.
How long have you done it? Quicker, come on.
Stop it!
What?
Do the questions quick like that.
Why?
Because it's cool.
Who are your mentors? People that inspire you?
Walker Evans, Harry Callahan, and Aaron Siskin.
Why do they inspire you?
Because they're abstract photographers.
They're abstract photographers?
Yes.
What's abstract about them?
They have no heads. They inspire me because they take pictures of abstract things. They aren't abstract. It's pictures that are abstract.
What do I have to do?
Focus in on this guy right here. Hey! Hey, you! Yeah, I'm talking to you. Hey, I'm a lawyer. And you know what? Winning is no accident. I think winning is no accident. So if you get into an accident, you should call me because I think winning is no accident. Shut up. I'm gonna put some white out on this guy's face. I'm an artist. Can't you tell? Winning is no accident.
Exactly what's going on here?
I'm going insane.
Are you really?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know.
You're not sure? Why not?
Don't know.
You sure?
Yeah. I'm going to make a series
Series of what?
of my portraits. I am ready. I would like to show you my newest masterpieces. I entitle this one Claudia with Streaks.
Claudia with streaks?
Yes, she's much more beautiful just with the streaks in her hair, not just the plain hair. And of course, the traditional mustache. It's a female mustache. Christy No Eyes.
Who are you?
I'm Katie, and I'm a photographer.